Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. My name is Anshul, and let's analyze Monday's markets and see where support and resistance is for Nifty and Bank Nifty. Starting off with Nifty first, Nifty's trading session today was really volatile, giving a quick momentum on both the sides, on the downside as well and on the upside. And if we look at today's Nifty's opening, the first 1 hour of the trading session, it was very indecisive and the candles were very indecisive. As we can see, there's a doji, inverted hammer, medium to strong bullish, then a bearish, then a hammer. And at the same time, Nifty was taking resistance or sustaining around its resistance at 21,740 level, which was a previous resistance. If we see 2-3 trading sessions back, a strong sell-off had happened from this level, 21,700, 740, 750 level, right? Similarly, after taking a resistance for the first 1 hour, we saw two strong sell-off candles until it took support around its previous resistance or yesterday's resistance around 21,680, 670. After being range bound, then we saw a small breakdown of that level as well, or that range as well. And as we discussed in yesterday's analysis video, that this level would be a demand zone for buyers for whom who would have kept their SLs, they would have exited, but still this would act like a support level. And the same thing happened. It turned into a support level and a demand zone, and we saw a very quick upside momentum, which recovered most of today's downtrend or the fall. Right, this more than around 100-point fall was immediately recovered. 80 to 90 points was immediately recovered in 3 to 4 candles. And if we look at Nifty's OI, there is a resistance seen at 21,700 level, and on the higher side, every 50-point strike is a resistance, and on the downside, every 50-point strike is looking like a support. So I wouldn't recommend for anyone for a buyer to place any trades in Nifty, because if Nifty is going to take support or resistance at every 50-point range, then it will be really hard for a buyer to make an entry, then book good profits at the same time keeping their SL minimum. So it's still a good place for sellers looking at the chart and the price action, and looking at the volatility. It will hit your stop losses more than it hits your target, right? If you look at the first 1 hour also, since it was sustaining at its resistance, many buyers would have thought that since it's a gap up opening, majority of sellers wouldn't be interested to sell. So they would have made their buying positions after looking at this candle, right? If you look at this candle or something, they would have made the position thinking Nifty is going to give a strong breakout, but immediately all these buyers SLs were hit, right? If we still plan for Monday's trading session, if Nifty opens somewhere around 21,760 to 21,630, 600, all 630, 640 level, this 100-point range would be really volatile, as we saw in today's trading session. But if it breaks out of this level, there is another resistance directly at 21,800, 21,840, which is our all-time high level. So this would be another major level where Nifty won't or will not break this level in one go, right? Usually it never sustains because if you look at the previous or a backtested data, or like how Nifty has performed or how price action happens, is that if there's a resistance, the next time the market or the price reaches the same level, it usually takes resistance. If it breaks in one go, most probably it's going to come down or it's going to fail. That breakout is going to fail, right? If it comes to the resistance, it makes 1, 2, 3 or like 2, 3 candles, sustains for a while, then gives a breakout. That's more likely to sustain, right? So similarly, if you plan on the downside, again every 50 points there is a demand zone for Nifty. So this level at 21,640, 630 level would still act like a demand zone. But if it breaks below this, again 600 level and 500 level, all these levels would be a good level for buyer to enter. So planning for a buying or like option buying in Nifty, I wouldn't recommend, because of this very small place for small room for trading or a good momentum, right? And if we look at Bank Nifty, if we move on to Bank Nifty also gave a small gap up opening, but along with Nifty, after being indecisive for the first 1 hour, gave a breakdown of this level after testing 48,400, as we discussed in yesterday's trading session as well, that if Bank Nifty opens flat and or a small gap up and touches 48,400, then it would come down till 48,200 for a good retest or a healthy retest. But that didn't happen. It was stuck in this 100-point or 70-point range, right, being indecisive. Then we saw a breakdown directly of this 48,200 level. Then the next support that Bank Nifty took, after kind of being range bound along with Nifty, if we look carefully, each candle there's not much momentum where a buyer or even scalper would have made money, right? And it took support tried to take support at 48,000, which is another round level, and it was a major support. But immediately after sustaining for 1 or 2 candles, we saw a breakdown of that level as well, and it took support somewhere around 47,800. And if you look carefully, it is a breakout zone of Bank Nifty in the previous few trading session. Like if we see in this 3rd Jan trading session, Bank Nifty had given a good breakout of this range, right? After making a low around 47,500, we saw a good price action of higher high, higher low until it gave a breakout and it rallied of more than 800, 900 points. But again, when it has come down to retest or test this level, immediately somewhere around the same breakout level, we saw strong buying momentum in Bank Nifty, right? In the around three candles, all this today's downfall of around 400, 500 points was completely, or 80 to 90%, it was completely recovered, right? Bank Nifty gave a strong recovery. So if you look at Bank Nifty's OI for today, 48,200 is still looking like a solid resistance, and 48,300 too, and directly at 48,500. On the downside, 48,000, 47,800 and 47,500. These levels will be crucial levels for Bank Nifty in Monday's trading session. And if we come back to our charts, Bank Nifty still has a small resistance at 48,250. So this range, as we saw that in OI, that 48,200 to 48,300 level, this would be a volatile level or somewhat kind of a supply zone for Bank Nifty. On the downside, if you look, 47,800, 47,600 and 47,500, these levels would be a demand zone. But if we see this buying move or the buying uptrend that Bank Nifty had given, so the bottommost swing is somewhere around 47,500. If Bank Nifty is to break this level, then we could see a major sell-off till 47,000 or 46,900. But until then, all these ranges would act like a support or a demand zone. On the higher side, if Bank Nifty opens somewhere around, gives a gap up opening somewhere around 48,300 or above 48,300, it will sustain, or it will more likely sustain this level, since all these call writers at 48,200 and 48,300 would square off their positions immediately as soon as the market opens and move on to somewhere, move their position somewhere to a higher strikes at 48,500 or 48,600. So we could see another buying move after being range bound for 4-5 candles. We could see a breakout and then a direct 200-300 point move till 48,650, 700 would be the next good resistance point. Right? Until then, don't plan a bearish trade or a selling like call writing trade until you see some major bearish sign, because Bank Nifty has created good levels for supports. Right? 48,000 would be a good support for Bank Nifty. 47,800, 47,600, 500, all these small 100 point range, which is not much for Bank Nifty, will be major supports. So this will be our analysis for Monday. See you all after the trading session. Thank you.